Every morning at this time, at 9:30 Eastern Time, we're sharing with you some of the StudentCam winners. And David Brooks, you have 3 children?
I have 3,
What are their
18,
ages?
15, and 10.
So maybe one of them could participate in next year. We had about 1,000 entries this year, and we're going to show you one of the third prize winners. And we'll show you a short excerpt of what was presented to C-SPAN and some background on the third prize winner. And when we come back, David Brooks has agreed to stay with us until the top of the hour, so more of your phone calls. But first, again, as we've been doing all this month, and we'll continue to do so, an excerpt of the documentary presented to C-SPAN, and you can watch all of them on our website at studentcam.org.
The main concern that people have about private contributions to campaign funds is that the elected officials will be influenced by their contributors once they're in office. How can someone address economic issues when they take money from Wall Street bankers? How can someone address healthcare when they accept money from insurance companies? How can somebody address energy issues when they take money from the owners of polluting oil and coal plants? These were the reasons why reformers sought to replace private contributions with public funds. Who can you be beholden to when your only donors are the American people?
They do. First of all, it's against the law. There can't be a quid pro quo. You give me money, and the understanding is I would support what you want to have done. That cannot be. But if the amounts are large, it makes you wonder, I believe, are you doing that much? So I think to reduce or eliminate the appearance of impropriety, I believe some sort of public campaign financing is the way to go, and lowering the amounts that can be spent in a campaign would be helpful as well.
Joining us today is Alexander Macina, a third prize winner whose school is in Latham, New York. Good morning, Alexander.
Good morning. Thanks for having me on the show.
Tell us why public financing is the most urgent issue for President Obama to address.
I think that when any issue comes to the table in Albany or in Washington, there are always certain people from both the general population and from the special interest groups that try to make their voices heard. And what in the end is implemented is some kind of a consensus view in an ideal situation. But whenever there's a person at the table who a politician has accepted campaign contributions from, this could make the politician more biased towards that side than towards the other side. So I think that in order for any issue, whether it be the environment or the economy, for any issue to be addressed in a neutral way, there needs to be a sound system of campaign financing.
What is your opinion of President Obama's decision not to use public financing in his campaign?
Well, I personally think that in and of itself, taking contributions from somebody is not necessarily enough to influence them one way or another. I'd like to think that anybody who has the wherewithal to win an election is smart enough not to let campaign contribution influence them. But I think the problem comes when somebody like President Obama ran on a platform of having clean and honest government. And not only that, when he made a promise to make a good faith effort to participate in the public financing system. And then, after all that, he decided not to. So I don't think it's a matter of campaign financing in and of itself for President Obama. It's a matter of saying one thing and doing the opposite.
What did you learn about public financing as a result of making this film?
Well, one of the things I like about the C-SPAN competition is that when you say to somebody that you're making a video for C-SPAN, it gives you a little more clout than you would otherwise have. So I do enjoy the opportunity whenever I make one of these videos to go out and learn from some more prominent people who know more about this than I do, learn more in depth about a particular issue. So I very much enjoyed, during the course of this competition, learning the different points of view about campaign financing.
Tell us about the elected officials that you interviewed for your documentary.
Well, I've made 3 videos for the StudentCam competition, and during the course of each video, I tried to get back to the same people, because I certainly very much appreciate the fact that they're willing to take their time out to speak with somebody like me. But I interviewed my state assemblyman, Assemblyman Bob Riley, and the majority leader of the New York State Assemblyman, Assemblyman Ron Canestrelli.
How familiar do you think American citizens are with the issue of public financing?
I think that whenever somebody goes to vote, they have a certain set of issues that are most important to them. And if I had to make a guess, I wouldn't think that too many people think campaign financing reform is their most important issue. But like I said before, I think it's important that whatever issue you feel most strongly about, in order for it to be addressed, there has to be a sound system of campaign financing in place.
How can Americans be more aware or educated about public financing?
Well, certainly they can always watch C-SPAN. I know you have a very wide array of information or programming on this topic. But just, I mean, I live here in Albany. It's the New York State capital. You can always go down to whatever your local legislature is and speak with your elected officials if there's a topic you'd like to learn more about or there's a topic you feel strongly about. Contrary to what some people say, these people really do care about you and they would be willing to speak with you.
The title of your video is Following the Money Down Pennsylvania Avenue. Have you ever visited D.C.?
Well, the title of my video, I got that from the movie and I guess the book, All the President's Men, when Robert Redford goes into the parking garage and Deep Throat tells him to follow the money. This is where I got the title of my movie from. But I have been to Washington, D.C. before, and I remember I enjoyed very much visiting the C-SPAN studios, and hopefully someday I'll have the opportunity to visit Washington, D.C. again.
Thank you, Alexander.
But thank you very much.
You can watch Alexander Macina's video or the other StudentCam 2009 winning videos at www.studentcam.org.
Washington Journal continues.
David Brooke, you didn't think we'd be asking you to review StudentCam. What
Yeah,
do you think?
That was amazing. That kid, that's a smart kid. I don't know how he's a 10th grader. I don't know how you get that well informed. And the vocabulary off the cuff was just remarkable. He said he, of course, came. I think he comes because he visited Washington, came to the C-SPAN studios, and was inspired to spend his life reading. And I remember when I was a kid, it was right after Watergate, about that age, and I would go where some of the Watergate co-conspirators had worked and looked at those buildings. I was very inspired by the Watergate co-conspirators, Judge Stuart Magruder. But that's an impressive young man right there. I think I'd buy stock in him.